On July 29th, 2025, I went to Six Flags New England and rode every coaster there. The first thing we rode was Wicked Cyclone. Later that day, I got 4 more rides in, and I had a good understanding for the layout and how good the coaster is. So today I will be making a review of Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England. Okay, so if you don't know how this works, basically we're going to kick this off with the history of the ride. So this originally was White Cyclone at Six Flags New England. I think it was a PTC Woody with a Cyclone layout, and then in 2016, RMC came in and redid it and turned it into Wicked Cyclone and themed it to it like cyclones. I'll give you a picture of the station right now. And anyway, it is an amazing ride. So now I will give you the ride stats. Okay, so now how this works is we mention categories and then we rate them. Okay, so the first category I'm going to add something new to this. So I'm going to break down the layout. So this starts out with basically it goes out of the station into some booster tires, into a turn, and then into a very steep lift hill. I just want to talk about how steep that lift hill is. It's pretty steep. So anyway, you go into the lift hill, and then when you're at the top, you drop down into a bottom out, and it has no speed hill, I'm pretty sure. I'll tell you on screen right now if it has a speed hill. And after that, it goes into a basically overbank that turns the train around. And then what it does is it goes into the first inversion, a 0G stall. So this is very fast paced. You get good hang time on it though. And the pacing on this ride is incredible. That's also why it is a great ride. So you go into the 0G stall and then you turn. Then I think you go into like a couple bunny hops until you rise up and then go into a double down. Now the second half of that double down is insane. I love it. So after you go out of the double down, you will basically go into a airtime hill and then into a turn, into like more bunny hops. I think this one's an outer bank after that, and then into another turn. Then I think you go into a 0G roll, and that one is very slow paced, so it gives great hang time. Then you go into like a couple more bunny hops, and then you go into some turns. You go into a outer bank that goes both directions. Let's just call it a switchback hill. And then you go into a couple more bunny hops, a couple turns, and then rise up into the brakes. So it's an awesome layout. And the first thing I want to talk about is the presentation of the ride. So this is themed to cyclones tearing through the land and causing devastation in the station. And basically, it has a couple, not animatronics, but, statues of cars that got, swept away by a cyclone in the queue line. And then when you get past that, it has, a good theming in the station. And on the actual ride, there's not much theming. There's no, on-ride audio, but anyway, still a great presentation. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the ride intensity. Now, this is a RMC, has a lot of airtime, but it gives you a lot of breathers in those inversions and in the turns in the third lap. So, yeah, but those airtime moments are killer. So, anyway, basically, I just love how intense the double down is, and the hills that are actually hills that you can feel airtime on. They're like RMC intensity airtime, because this is an RMC. And the first drop is pretty good. The overbank is forceless, though, which is why I'm giving this an 8 out of 10 for intensity. Next up is the fun factor. The fun factor is basically how fun the ride is. Like, for example, if you put something like Space Mountain on here, it could get like a 9 fun factor. I give this an 8 because, like, it isn't like Space Mountain where it plays tricks on your brain, where, like, it makes you think you're going 100 miles an hour in the dark. And basically, it's a really fun ride, though, and it gives you a lot of breathers, which I don't like that. And that is why I give the fun factor an 8 out of 10. Now for the originality. This is this is like, I think, the 6th RMC conversion, but it's still very original by default because it's a custom layout, and it was converted from another coaster. If it was like the first one, like New Texas Giant, that's obviously a 10, but I'll give this a 7 because multiple conversions like this have been done before, and this is just like maybe the 6th of them or 7th. And then now for this ride smoothness. This is an RMC, not topper track, a RMC iBox track, and it is crazy smooth like all the RMC iBox tracks, and that is why I give this a 10 out of 10. No explanation needed. Now the restraints. These let you get airtime. They let you get airtime, and that's good. And that's the only thing I care about, so I give it a 9 out of 10. So when you add all those scores up together, it comes out with an 8.1 out of 10 average. But my score is a 9.7 out of 10. And in my rankings, this is number 1 at the park by far, and number 1 on my list just barely over Twisted Colossus. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! And don't forget to smash that like button and smash the subscribe button. It helps out a ton with the algorithm, and turn notifications on so you don't miss more videos like these about roller coasters.